Yo guys, I'm making this video for prehistoric, just information, whatever you guys like, because I know dinosaurs are really cool and stuff, so basically they're just here to duke it out. Stop. Where'd that cat come from? Okay, whatever. But really, this took me a very long time, and I would appreciate if you liked and subscribed, and that's pretty much it. Just enjoy everything that comes up. Oh, and yeah, do not forget, get your popcorn, get your soda, get whatever you need, and just enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. Please, thank you, enjoy. This is the Cretaceous period. A moment with a great variety and good welfare of the dinosaurs. Let's go check on our dinosaurs at this moment. We have beautiful Edmontosauruses and amazing Parasaurolophuses. Most were just resting, drinking, sleeping, walking. It was a good day. Now night was coming, but another came among them. The Spinosaurus. The big spines on their back. At this moment, it seems like they are socializing. And right now, expanding their territory. Who knows what might happen between them and herbivores? Maybe a dual hunt? Who knows? But nightfall began, so for right now, everything was put on hold. Now night had fully come. All dinosaurs took a break and just went to sleep. But something was happening. The new Dreadnoughtus and Nigersaurus had come. They were big sauropods, known for their size. But these guys were known for their weird neck and their tiny size, even though they were part of the sauropod family. It was a beautiful morning. People were sitting, sleeping, just doing the regular morning things. Parasaurolophuses. I probably said that wrong. They were sleeping, resting, like beautiful dinosaurs. Look at them. Humble, cute even, but they were a bit close to the Dreadnoughtus and Nigerosauruses. Right now, the ecosystem was doing actually pretty good. No fights yet, no deaths. Right now, everything was fine. Regular stuff. The Spinosaurus were watching from the trees. Watching the sauropods. Or the Edmontosauruses and the Parasaurolophuses. Now this Spinosaurus, he was getting really close to the Dreadnoughtus. Now this Spinosaurus was getting really close with the Dreadnoughtus. His partner had divided with him. Now, who knows what might happen next? A hunt? He was following them as they ran away, trying to intimidate him, but it wasn't working. They crossed paths, I guess not wanting to fight right now. But instead, the Edmontosauruses and the Parasaurolophuses were kind of in trouble. But for now, he wasn't hungry. He didn't have an appetite right now. However, a new species had come out. The Velociraptors were getting a bit close to this Edmontosaurus. Who knows what might happen? A hunt? They were hungry and they were approaching this Edmontosaurus that was sleeping. But instead, they kept seemingly walking around, sitting down for a moment. This was Tiger, and he was the pack leader. It looks like these two might have been fighting for dominance. Who'd win? Tiger or Slither? Slither being the brown. But seemingly Tiger ran away. Does that make Slither the alpha?
That is a purity that few humans have.
This was Streak, known for the big streak on his back. And that was Shadow, being white and a bit of black. Slither was a bit aggressive. He kind of disliked everything. Always snarling and roaring. But for right now, the Velociraptors have not met the Spinosaurus. It had been pretty chill so far. No deaths once again, and no fights. Pretty good. It was too late. We missed it. But the Velociraptors had caught themselves a kill, hunting on an Edmontosaurus and feasting. Tiger and Silver, they participated in another hunt, bonding together trying to eat this Parasaurolophus, clawing at him. They tried to run, taking Slither off. The Tiger got the upper hand, but he was tossed away. Slither got back on its head and rest. And the Parasaurolophus died. Tiger didn't die from the toss. Maybe a bit injured, but right now, they got themselves a kill. There was something wrong with Slither. Tiger ate the corpse, but Slither didn't eat a single ounce. He was doing this for sport. He was always the aggressive one. He instead sat and just took his victory, walking away. Shadow unnoticed, decided to take up on the free meal, eating some of it. But who knows what Slither will be up to next. Another kill based on the sport. He was a sneaky, cruel killer. The storm had begun to occur, maybe sending some dinosaurs to a panic. The Spinosaurus had begun to hunt the Nigersaurus, eventually catching up to it, throwing it by its leg and snapping its neck. It had found itself a meal. Now the second Spinosaurus, the partner, was beginning to do something. The Nigersaurus began running, but he chased it down, biting its tail, dragging it across, and snapping its neck. It had caught itself. The Tyrannosaurus sat, possibly enjoying his last final seconds. A new species had come. This was Lizard. He had recently killed a Parasaurolophus. Sadly, the Jurassicworld had died. A fight had begun between Slither and Shadow, which Shadow witnessed when he ran away, which he did. Slither continued to dominate, being the leader of it. The Spinosaurus began to start eating the Jurassicworld, making use of its dead body for some good meat. Now this was the downfall of the ecosystem. Everything began dying, and the populations began to fall. This was the last of the Nigersaurus population here. The other two were murdered brutally by Spinosauruses and T-Rexes. Will this one die like the rest, or survive and watch everything crumble? Leave your answers down below. Who do you think will be the last living population? The Edmontosauruses, the Parasaurolophuses, the Nigersaurus, the T-Rex, the Velociraptors, or the Spinosaurus? Shadow slithered and began hunting this Edmontosaurus, grappling onto it. Streak can also join in the battle, taking one of them off. Kicking with his 10 legs, or he slowly fell to instead, leaving them a good meal. The Spinosaurus began eating the meal while Slither and Shadow fight. Slither and Shadow were fighting for the Slither and Shadow were fighting for the Slither and Shadow were fighting for leaderman. Shadow ended up running away. This guy was hungry. He hadn't eaten in a few couple days. This Spinosaurus was hungry. He hadn't eaten in a few days. We could go on a hunt or eat more food left over. For now, he could satisfy his hunger by just eating leftovers. Soon, it will come down to just a few dinosaurs. What will it come to? Slither had killed another. Who knows what will happen when there's no more food and it's just the carnivore's neck. Had began chasing his Parasaurolophus. Shadow wrapped on its back, clawing at it. Got on its tail, swaying him off with his tail. Lastly, just grabbing onto him, fell. Shadow had gotten himself. Had began to kill another trio on this one. Yet again. Another feast. But he got back up. Run! It was too much for him. Eventually, he got himself back. Maybe considering it sport for the love of the game. Once was a thriving, surviving ecosystem, but now the numbers were dwindling. Who will be last? A close confrontation always was going down. Gladly not leading to a fight. Something bad would happen. Eventually, the first Spinosaurus, his name was Fury, Lizard, began to fight. Lizard attacked them once. Who will come out victorious? But Fury had won that. His Lizard was cowardice. So clearly keeping the jungle. They began to get desperate. They began fighting the Spinosaurus. He was tossing him around. This was an act of despair. He tossed him aside. Tiger had died, but Slither did not care. He ate his dead body. Slither is a psychopath. This was an insane act by Slither. He ate his own pack member. Shriek had also died. We saw him tumble earlier. He lost a couple members. Lizard had a better idea. Instead of fighting the raptors and the Spinosaurus, he knew he had to kill this Parasaurolophus. Parasaurolophus stranded himself early. He knew his death was inevitable. He had to. Shadow wanted to get revenge on Spinosaurus, so Slither and Shadow decided to fight. Slither was shot against, but he came crashing back on it. Would they get the kill, secure the victory, get revenge, or die like the rest of the teammates? Slither would not give up, knowing he was crazy. But this was true. Shadow had died first. They fought warriors. They fought, trying to avenge their brothers. But Slither, he was different. He wanted to kill because he wanted to. He was crazy. Lizard had also partaken. He ate the Parasaurolophus' body. There wasn't any much species left. The raptor's dead, Parasaurolophus is dead, and Montgosaurus is dead. There were only 3 more herbivores. 1 Parasaurolophus, 1 Edmontosaurus, and another Edmontosaurus. They knew they would die, but I guess they just had to keep moving somehow. They had already ate Slither, completely leaving his body. But they just put Shadow's body to decay. Right now, it seemed the last one that would be standing is the Spinosaurus, being in a pack, and the T-Rex wasn't that strong either. Lizard needed a feast again. He was getting hungry. Would he try to fight the Spinosaurus or eat a herbivore? The Spinosaurus were slowly approaching Lizard. They knew they had to do something about him. This was Dash and Fury. I haven't really properly introduced you guys together, but Dash and Fury were surrounding themselves to the herbivores. Dash kept moving along, while Fury scoped the area. They were both gonna get a kill. This was Agro. He was an Acrocanthosaurus. He had been recently introduced into the ecosystem. It was a bit late, my apologies, but he is a wonderful addition. This was a new Rex, Buck. Bucky. He will be partnering up with Lizard. They might look the same, but they're different. Dash had secured himself another kill. Feasted on an Edmontosaurus. Maybe that's time to mark it, okay? Fury had begun to see the Edmontosaurus. So they challenged him. This was dangerous, but whoever could this was dangerous. They began to fight. Whoever can take this down will get a free meal. Agro was getting taunted, but Fury had walked in. Agro was the new big bad. Fury had gotten an injury. He was now not the king of the ecosystem. He would maybe die because of his injuries. So, took his last sniff. Would he die? Or would he continue? Agro had also been injured in the fight. Not much battle scars though. He was definitely tough. Lizard had begun to starve to death. If he didn't find himself a meal, it'd be over. Would this be it for him? Or would he secure himself another kill? Fury had caught out his T-Rex on his final moments. It was a storm. We knew he would die. We might as well take it. I am warrior. Fury had come to the ground. He was gonna die anyway. Bucky got that. But Agro was innocent. He needed to steal this kill. He needed to kill Bucky. He laid there with his jaws sprung. Single-handedly took down his raptors. Agro had approached him. Would he fight him or take the kill? He retrieved, eating his leftovers. I guess they were fine with it, at least for now. They both were hungry, and there was no need to kill. Lizard was extremely hungry. He had to go find a kill now. Was Dash grieving at his brother's death, who he had been with since the beginning? This was a sad time. This ecosystem has gone down, dwindling to its core. The lizard had missed out on the free chance to get a bit of Fury's body. He had to go kill something else or he would die. He was really low on health and was starving. Dash was getting revenge for him, killing his brother. He snapped his neck and launched him to the floor. He had got revenge for his brother. A free kill. Getting rid of both dinosaurs. Killing the lizard in his sleep. He had killed both of them. They had both died somewhat close next to each other. Would Dash get his revenge and win this all? Or would he fall just like his brother Fury? Somehow the single Edmontosaurus was alive. He would just... This Parasaurolophus would be moving in the trees. They were both alone. No more pack members. Soon to aggro against Dash. Who would win this? The newcomer or the wolf? Who would win this? The newcomer or the one who had been here since day one? It was beginning to snow. This would lead into another video. Beginning a new ecosystem where all the other dinosaurs who had died would be forgotten, but maybe for the best. Now, the Spinosaurus had began to approach the Parasaurolophus. He was hungry. Unlike Agro, who had been camping those two T-Rex dead bodies, this guy had been. It was amazing. He ran, knowing his fate had come. This was the last Parasaurolophus. He didn't want to die, but he had to kill him. For now, he seemed done trotting. Final stand. Final two carnivores fighting. Dash took the first hit. Both hit each other. Hit each other once again. Dash is the kingdom. Dash was the king of this ecosystem. But Agro ran back. He wasn't taking this. He wanted to fight to the death. They went separate ways. Agro was hungry, low on health. This was pretty much it for him. Unless he did something that would help him by the far point. Unless he did something that would help him by the far point, he would win this. He took the cowardice way out, isolating himself so that he walked away. It didn't work. He did not want Dash to see him die. This would have enraged him. He took his final breath and he fell to the ground. That was it for Agro. He laid there in the water. He was strong. He almost killed Fury, but Bucky took him off. And Dash was the one to kill Agro. So then, this was it. It was pretty much the end. It had begun to get cold on both sides. Soon, this place turned into the winter biome. And Agro was getting buried under the snow, like every single other one. It had begun to snow, plagiarizing the whole land. Dash was starving. If he didn't make an act to go to Dash was starving. Dash was starving. If he didn't go make an act to go eat the Edmontosaurus or the Parasaurolophus, he would die. He needed to go eat fast. There was a free meal all across the whole way, but he was just choosing not to eat. Dash had been constantly pacing back and forth. Something was wrong with him. None of this was right. He should go and eat, but he just didn't want to. He just kept pacing back and forth. He chose to sit down, knowing these were his last breaths. The herbivores have won. They were the last. The single Parasaurolophus and the single Edmontosaurus. Dash had won at what cost? He was now dead. The whole land was overtaken by snow, leaving only the herbivores. He slept and he died in his sleep. This was the end. He won, but at what cost? Losing his brother, the ecosystem, and his life.